folks, welcome back for another episode of Our Journeys, and huzzah, huzzah, K Fluffy is back. Well, I don't know if he ever left. It certainly wasn't official, but I haven't seen K Fluffy in a long time. The only time I saw him before was mixing it up in some solo arena. So not seeing him in arena and seeing him here, it's just good to see. So welcome back, K Fluffy. And yeah, golly day, let me tell you. All right, so this looks like a movement deck. My keen eyes has spied Dune Smuggler, Apex Predator, Mournhold Trader. That's a fantastic card. Interesting to... Oh, and he is up against Invade. So I've had bad burns, many bad burns with movement decks. The latest iteration, the iteration that comes after the 1 cost or 0 cost, move it back and forth, move it back 75 times for no cost. I've gotten burned by that card so many times. That said, kick butt, K Fluffy. And, you know, it's such a nice card. Mournhold Trader. That is one of the few times you will see the Mournhold Trader making a trade. And boom. We're seeing that great synergy there. Alright, so Didev Pat is very complimentary. Is currently in the Thief. Invasion Party, there it is. My gosh. So we're seeing this is pretty much Invade living its best life, if that word can even be applied to it. Life or best, actually, if either word can be applied to Invade. It's a soulless suckfest of derision, hatred, malice, and I hate it so much I'm not even going to bother with stuff. So now, K Fluffy, I mean, this is what you always have to do with Invade. You have to gauge, especially when you've got a gate that big, you got to gauge, do I make my trades or do I go for face? And I mean, I think we're going to see a clinic put on here. Doesn't know if it's going to pay off because it really does depend on the draw. I mean, K Fluffy himself and many others, Dano, Aros, Denise, I mean, lots of folks have made it very clear that it is not necessarily all skill. I mean, there are some games you're just not going to win. So I think, and it depends on what Didev Pat's draw is. I mean, Invasion Party is a huge, huge card to have. K Fluffy will be able to handle it if he doesn't invade like 2 more times. Okay, he does not. That's okay. He's got the Dagoth Dagger. So he can kill that off with Ashlander, and then he can kill the gate with Mournhold. And that may be the end of it for Didev Pat. Razzle dazzle dazzle Nice.
Tajid will enjoy feasting on your bones.
Him and his silly little ponytail. That's alright though. I mean, when you're a cat and you already have a tail, I don't think you should wear your hair and a tail. I think that's redundant. I think it's just silly. But, you know, in the world of Skyrim, perhaps maybe it can be forgiven. Yeah, that Mournhold Trader boy, I mean, like I said, you very rarely see him. He's usually go face, go face, go face, and you don't want to put too much on him because you know he's going to be a target for the opponent. But this brave trader has definitely put it all on the line. And let's see. He's really getting Fluffy down to the essence, and it doesn't look like he's running a whole lot of drain, or if he does, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's going to Swift Strike, and the game is over. And that's the danger of the deck. Yes, K Fluffy. Very happy. Very happy. I just sent K Fluffy a message. I figure, hey, while he's playing, let's go ahead and take a gander. Unstoppable Rage, too. Ooh, Tazcat. Whoa, yeah, it's got a nice high end. I don't know if this is still movement. I think it is, because this has been a very quick re-entrance into this. It's most of the time I'm having to wait quite a bit of time to get another game, especially with people I've just watched, but he jumped back in. So I think this is still the movement deck. We're just seeing some of his higher end. Luckily, he's got the Awakened Dreamer to open with. I said, bless you, sir, for coming back to, destroy Invade. It's kind of, for some reason I had a British accent in my head. I'm just picturing, somebody, holding their hat, like, don't do that. Holding their hat, in their hands. Bless you, sir. Bless you for taking it to Invade, for sticking it to those rat demonic bastards and freeing us all. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Maybe it's a little bit of Dickens. I don't know. Well, anywho, focusing back up here. I do want to take this time to mention, and I need to make note of the time code, about 6 minutes in here, that you will probably be seeing this logo in associated with this channel very soon, or in the coming weeks. Just giving you a heads up. It hasn't happened yet, but I am going to be essentially kind of doing a merge with the good folks at Roll-to-One. They're a good group of fellas. We're doing a lot of work together. They are Roll-to-One gaming. They do tabletop D&D type stuff, which I'm involved with, but they also have a gaming side of it. But the gaming side hasn't really had a chance to get its legs under it because the guys are so involved in the tabletop part of it, and just, you know, life catches up with you. You get crazy work schedules and such. So, and they've seen, you know, what I've been doing and going, hey, you know, it would be great if we could, you know, combine our forces. And then you have kind of a, you know, an overlap, and you got, okay, there's people that come here. Some folks come for the games, just, you know, gameplays, and some come for, you know, tabletop, and maybe you find an audience in both. But either way, that is what we're looking to do at this point. Obviously, I'll let you know if that changes. But in my mind, we still have to talk about it, but in my mind, essentially there's going to be a transition period where there will be an overlap. We'll have the games here, but then also on that channel. And I'll have a link in the description, and I'll put a little memo up here as well, so that anytime during that week, you can just, if you're watching the video on this channel, you know, Incarnate, you can click on the link to go to what will be the new site of this, and nothing is going to change. Well, I'll get to that in a second. You click on that, and then you can subscribe there. And if you don't want to, you know, keep subscriptions with this one, that's fine. But don't do anything yet. Like I said, it's not locked down. I just wanted to give you a heads up. Nothing is going to change about how I do the video, aside from, you know, hello, welcome to our journeys on Roll-to-One games. That's pretty much it. And maybe there's a great guy, Zane, on that channel, does some amazing graphic work. And so we might get to have his, you know, the Roll-to-One intro before it or something. But nothing fundamentally is going to change. It's not under new management or anything. It's still, I have autonomy with these games and everything. So nothing is going to change except for where they're being posted, in order to kind of hopefully create that synergy and maybe grow one channel versus having two that are kind of, you know, trying to find their feet. So anyway, like I said, I'll keep you abreast, and I'll let you know when we're in that week or 2 weeks, however long it's going to be to the transition, that rollout, because we don't want to lose anybody, and we don't want there to be any confusion. But like I said, so nothing's going to change. It's going to be the same scheduling pretty much and all that. But I'll keep you posted as it comes. Just know that is what I'm looking to do, and I think it's going to be better for everyone. And yeah, and for it's either going to be better for folks, or it's not going to be really any different. And yeah, so anyway, just wanted to get that out there early on in the video. And probably, well, I'm doing all, yeah, so probably won't have a future update until next week, unless I do a specialized video for it, which I might do. We'll see. But anyway, let's get back to the games here. Razzle-madazzle came down. Norrell Scotch. I think it's Scotch. Norrell Scotch. I like Norrell Scotch. I like the name. But as you can see, he is a almost top 100. He is vying for the top 100 spot. K Fluffy in the top 150. And K Fluffy got a really good. Was this okay? I'm a little, see, and this is my problem. I was watching the game, but my brain was focused on what I was trying to communicate, so I didn't just stumble around. And I have missed how in the world we got a High King Emmerich. Does he have a Steely Steel? Well, no. Unless it was barter or something like that. Wish you could go back even further. But yeah, so clearly it's been a while since he acquired High King. And I'm sure High King came from Norrell Scotch, but I just don't know. And same with Bone Weaver. Oh, duh, wow. I just said Razzle-madazzle is on the board, and I'm wondering how in the world K Fluffy managed to get. You know what? Gosh darn it. Sometimes I think the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere are battling for supremacy, and neither one is winning, and you get brain fart moments like that. My goodness gracious. Okay. Mea culpa. It's been a rough couple days, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to regale you with all the details, but let's just say, in the middle of a phone call, in fact, I was talking to the good folks over at Roll-to-One, trying to hash out some more details. Middle of a phone call, and cuts off. My phone's still on, just says no service. So I'm like, what's going on? So I think, I'll just do the classic restart the phone, it'll come back. No dice. Okay, then I look. They say, oh, maybe there's updates. So I'm like, really? That's kind of a jerk move on Apple, because I've got an i7. So yeah, it's an old phone. It's 5 years old, an i7. And I looked at it and said, well, maybe there's an update. And I update it regularly, but sometimes, if there's an update, I don't even see the notification. I don't pay attention. Well, sure enough, there was an update. And I was like, well, that's kind of a jerk move that you cut my phone service off, or that it's incompatible. I can't even make a phone. And that was the thing. It wasn't, the functionality was, I couldn't make or receive calls. I couldn't make or receive texts. So that's kind of a big deal, when you're talking about your phone, especially if you're trying to, contact Verizon and say, hey, how do I need to fix this? What's going on with the service? Because I didn't know if it was Apple or if it was, Verizon. But I couldn't log in because they're sending confirmation via text to my phone, and I can't receive text. So very frustrating. I got in a loop where I was just all capping the automated helper. It's like, what do you need help with? I need to talk to somebody because my phone the service isn't working. Well, good. Then first we need you to log in. No, and I know I'm not talking to anybody. I know I'm just blowing smoke, but it was just, I needed that 2 or 3 times of just all capping. Can't get into my phone. Found out it was a phone issue. Unfortunately, unbeknownst to me, but beknownst to the gentleman I spoke to about the phones, my particular, i7s in general, not the i7 Plus, but the i7 in general, with a particular model number, and so you can see how that could be really dangerous with Unstoppable Rage. And K Fluffy making a really nice break in there. If you're gonna break crack that first rune, go ahead and bust 2 of them there. Lightning bolts. Probably the best target he could have made with something like Dune Stalker. It could have come over and done some stuff, but he's still got to deal with these 2, and an Ice Storm. Ice Storm would do it. Ice Storm would do it. Anyway, so let's see what he does here.
I shall be your eyes and ears.
He'll be my red eyes. Wow, he must have stayed up late. Heyo. He's just possessed. I don't understand. So it looks like the scrolls are red, like they're manifesting this red evil, and his eyes red. So I don't know if the scrolls are having an impact on him. He's having an impact on the scrolls. I don't know why a conspirator would need to manifest demonic, but I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool looking. It really makes me want to shout. No, it makes me want to craft that card in premium just to have it. But he's pretty much the poor man's discerning thief, and then he doesn't have quite the body. All right, so Norlskosh able to clear the board. Okay, Fluffy's got Taz Daddy in the wings.
Khajiit is going to enjoy this.
Is he really now, with his cool-looking lightsaber-y thing? Brings back Dune Ripper. So even though it's not in K Fluffy's deck, he's thinking about how to use it. Sometimes I've watched games, even with good players in TESL, would watch them and they get cards, whether it's an arena or something like this, where it's a card that's not in there, they didn't put in their deck, and the card just kind of sits there, off to the side, because they're not figuring out how to incorporate it in their gameplay. So that's a great thing we're seeing from K Fluffy. Now, granted, I mean, he didn't have a huge hand, so it wasn't like he really had a whole lot of options, but still thinking, okay, here's a way I can maximize the impact of this card. He may very well have been thinking, I want to make sure I can bring Dune Ripper back, so I'm going to wait for it to die before I play him. And oh, there we go, Battle of the Bone Weavers. Bone on bone. Bringing back a target. Really? Okay, yeah, just trying to prevent damage to face. But Norlskosh, as we can see, is running low on cards himself, and that's why Tribunal is typically not thought of as being on par with. Oh, does he have enough for lethal here? That's because he can change lanes. That's 11. Yes. No. Yes. Yeah. Dune Smuggler pushes him over. That hits for 5. That's becomes a 7. That'd be 13 plus Tazcat is 19, right? Am I missing something? I'm missing something. What am I missing? What was I missing? Because he makes it a 1+1, so that was 7. That's 13. Oh wait. Oh no. Yeah. No. Okay. Well, he would have been 6. That would have been 7. So yeah, 13. He had 18 plus 6 is 19. That's Taz Daddy, right? He has 9. And now he has to use it on... So maybe it wouldn't have worked anyway because of that prophecy. And I could have done the math wrong. I would more likely assume that I have misread the board somehow then that K Fluffy missed lethal. But it wouldn't have mattered anyway because we know he did have. Ooh, all right. Does not take out Tazcad, which I'm sure was the goal, as it has breakthrough and it is a 6. Because even if it had been immolated, it would have been a 4/4, which is still something at this particular time. So he's got 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. He's got 4 if... Oh, he won't have 4 in that lane because he can't clear that up. But he's got 3. Yeah, I mean, he's got probably many ways to do lethal. Anyway, my phone. So, yeah, so apparently that model, the component that deals with the cellular data was known to malfunction. So I was actually very lucky. I got 5 years out of that phone. Most of the time it was crapping out within 6 months, 9 months, year and a half, somewhere around there. So very lucky to have that last as long as it did. But yeah, just in the middle of the phone call, the component just said, I got nothing left, and the heart went out of it, unfortunately. All right, so Dune Stalker is going to...
That was fought well.
Well done, yep. Doink. Tazcad, I am nimble, I am fast. Blah! Nice. Well done, sir, well done. That was a heck of a game, heck of a fight.
Okay. So we're joining Aros on a ladder jaunt. In fact, he's got Doppelganger there. It looks like it's going to be another Nixox combo. And the Knight Remember. Bit of a clunky hand though, isn't it? At least he's got the bat there.
By the 8th, they will meet their makers.
Okay, so it looks like it can be a ward-based sorcerer, so we're probably going to expect High King Emmerich later on. They're always difficult to deal with, but I do like sorcerer as a class. It's nice to see it being used for.
Schwaaard take you.
Oh my goodness, that's a whopper, isn't it? I think he's going to have to Blackhand Messenger that. Difficult one, really. He might have to Blackhand Messenger it and maybe Dark Rebirth it, but the thing is that one, I think its health... I think its health keeps increasing as well as it does a kill, so it's going to be quite difficult to remove.
Out upon it.
And that's just made it even more difficult to remove. Pity he's got no bolt at the moment. Maybe a doppelganger. I know he's holding that for Nixox, but needs must. He could also Dark Rebirth and Knight Remember, but that would be then putting it in the path of... I suppose it doesn't really matter, but that ward creature. Okay, doppelganger it is then. Incredibly hard to remove that. Nice move by the opponent. AZ Amen. Not seen that name before. That is still a big whopper, isn't it? Goodness me.
Gall and pox.
Oh my goodness.
I slay the unworthy.
They really have had spot on draw, haven't they? It feels like a waste, but he's got to do something. So I think Abner.
I will not be on the wrong side of history.
Maybe on the rally guy. very, very tough. I mean, the opponents had a very good hand from the get-go, haven't they?
Gall and pox.
Oh my goodness, all three of them. Not a lot that can be done, really, in the face of that, is there? If we're going to see a Nixox, maybe not to remember.
A few drinks, a few laughs, and a card.
You could be able to kill one of them with Ancano now. The one in the field lane.
Not be on the wrong side of history.
Beware my power.
Oh dear. That's a lot of power on the board. I can see why he wants to get the most out. He wants to get his combo. That's still a heck of a lot. We're gonna have to hope they don't have a bolt as well.
Stendarr, give me strength.
Gall and pox.
I hate this crowd.
You fight well.
Oh,
Damned uncomfortable.
they had a human bolt. I mean, that really was perfect draw for them, wasn't it? Not much anyone could do against that.
Jay Shades, hot diggity dog. We are in luck. All the classics are coming out. All classics. All the veterans. I don't know how else to say it. All the. Yeah, I'm not sure how to say it, but folks that we haven't seen in a while coming out to play today. So Jay Shades with a. Oh, so I asked K Fluffy if he was a doctor because he had a lot of patients. Heyo, and I said, actually, I'm a doctor of sorts. So yeah, my joke was a little more knowing than I thought it might have been. Obviously, that can mean a ton of different things. Anything from PhDs to doctors, vets. Let's see. Oh yeah, and so okay, and what K Fluffy said there is something that I've mentioned many times, something to keep in mind. He said opponent should have probably attacked at some point, but you know, that was his call. He did what he thought he needed to do. But that's what we've seen with K Fluffy. We see it with Thiago. By the way, Thiago has his own channel. Thiago, it's not the blacksmith. I can't remember his last name, but it's in the description. A link to his channel is in the description. Thiago's a control player. Doesn't like aggro. Not a huge fan of mid range either. Pretty much plays control, specifically Telvanni. But he is not. Ooh. Wow. I was gonna say I'm surprised that doesn't get a concession from Budley. I had a friend with a dog named Budley. Had a little tail like this, a little nubby tails, a hunting dog, hound dog.
Ribbon is only the first step on my
Okay, so she's gonna yoink. All right, doesn't close things out because Aspect of her scene is next up at bat. So barring a prophecy, he will just drive it home. That's it done. Jay Shades. Oh, speaking of Thiago, here we go. And like I said, control with Telvanni. I know for some folks, Telvanni is kind of a deck type non grata. But I do enjoy Thiago. I do like the way he plays it. Oh, wow, here we go. Another invade. Apparently there's just a rash of them, a plague. Oh, Thiago props. Thiago just said, I don't play against invade. And heck yeah, sir. Spirit animal. He is the first person I know of besides myself who just refuses to straight up play against invade. He's on the ladder. He's in rank 5, trying to get to rank 4 before the end of the season. I have no doubt that he's going to make it there. But he just said, I won't touch invade. So, like I said, I know some folks aren't keen on Telvanni, but it says something when a Telvanni player says, nah, I'm not going to mess with it. Oh! Okay, and this is a singleton. Again, stating the obvious, singleton Telvanni, so you got the bonus there. But what I like about Thiago, I mean, not only, he's just a great player in general, but he doesn't, even his Telvanni decks aren't, typical. I mean, come on, when was the last time you saw Nakreen, the Dragon Priest, in a deck? I mean, he got nerfed to oblivion, probably even before I started playing. So yeah, I mean that's saying something. That's saying something. It makes it's a great statement, and thrilled to see him make it. And he's up against some. I mean, I'm guessing this is supposed to be like an aggro archer. Well, no, I don't even know if it could be an aggro archer because it's not really coming out swinging. We're not seeing like the Mournhold trait or anything. We'll see on this turn. We'll see what he plays down. We'll see, is it a beefy body? I mean, it's not control. That's obvious. So hopefully Thiago can get some cards up before. I mean, he does have his Cruel Fire Bloom, the trusty sidekick of all Telvanni players, far and wide. Okay, yeah. So this is not purely an aggro. This is a mid-range, probably an upper mid-range if I had to guess. Either that, or he just had really bad card draw. But usually you don't see like these guilds on like low to the ground. You know, you're just trying to get. I mean, you'd use. I think there's other draw that you would probably use if you're trying to get it done. So okay, it just may be a dragon deck, which I do run a dragon archer myself. It's one of my favorites. It's old staple. If I'm ever at a loss for what I'm going to play, I'll usually pull that out. It feels very Skyrim. I have a good time with it. Nice use of the mute there. Oh. Is he gonna? He is going face. See, and that's what that's the thing. He does not, like I said, other than being a great player, he does not play it like blind control. Kind of what K Fluffy said. You got to know when to make that turn. If you're up against a more aggressive opponent, doesn't mean that you just turtle up and hope you get your amulet or something. You know, there is a point where you need to turn around and take the aggressive and be willing to break those runes and take those risks. Otherwise, you just get worn down. Ooh, Nimble Ally is not a loyal ally. He whiffs. And that is going to sting a bit. Although, to be fair, both of them trade with Morokai. We may see a Night to Remember. Nope, okay. Could still see a Night to Remember. Could still see a Night to Remember. We saw a Night to Remember! We remembered that night!
What could be better?
But yeah, Thiago is very, very good about turning very quickly, going on the offensive. It's more, I think, and I do appreciate this about... Oh, call Dragon. It's a Dragon deck. I mean, if it is a Dragon deck, and we've seen Dragons, so okay. But... still wrangles me. Anyway, because there's a part of me that I'm like, I like big cards, and I cannot lie. You other folks can't deny. I like. I mean, it's cool. Like your Atromancer, your Supreme Atromancers and things. I like being able to play some of the bigger cards. I think they're fun. The Iron Atronachs and stuff. And you have to kind of play a control deck in order to get there, because otherwise you're going to get run down by mid-range and aggro. But it's like, but I don't want to necessarily, and I mean, you saw it. I mean, well, if you go back to the tournament, when I play the control elite deck, with so many people, not even the tournament, just the few times that I actually have played control, people like wince. They'll tell me, "Oh my gosh, it was so painful watching you play control," because I treated it like kind of a bigger or slower mid-range deck, and so I would go on as soon as I saw a chance to attack, I'd go for it. It's like, screw that, I'm going for the win. I don't care about playing the deck. And obviously mixed results. I got some wins out of it, but that doesn't necessarily say that my choices were right. It just says that I mean, all it says is the result is what it is, but it doesn't necessarily give validation to the choice that brought it about. That's a bit of a fallacy to say, oh, well, I won doing this. It's like, well, yeah, but you probably going to lose. Statistically, you'll lose 25 times before you win another one playing it like that. But anyway, yeah, so just happy to see Thiago here. But yeah, like I said, he's got on the channel, as does our fellow Vincenzo. Vincenzo also has a link there in the description. If you want to check him out, he is doing his own ladder climb. He plays his own games, as me. I mostly do a lot of spectating at this point, but Vincenzo's still mixing it up, as is Thiago. They both mix it up. And see, okay, there you go. So Yurizar is making that move, is saying, okay, I'm not going to... And I think he's really counting on that Call Dragon to be something impressive. Molamir, not what he wanted, because he's not going to be able to kill both of these. Oh, right, I forgot it. Levels up all your shouts. So, yeah, he went on the offensive because he thinks, and unfortunately correctly, that he's got the upper hand. My math is off by... Nope. Okay, he can play both Gatekeeper and Nahagleave, which is huge. Because dragons typically don't do a lot of lane change, so he's got... Okay, okay. Chooses not to go that route. Does stick with the Gatekeeper.
I'll learn the spell.
And he is discounting Soul Burst. That's going to be a huge play next turn. Cost 1 less. I got to remember. Banish a creature. Deal 3 damage to all enemies. So it's kind of like a miniature Alduin / Odin. So he's going to be able to banish Parthenax, which is going to be beautiful. And he's going to be able to do 3 damage to both of these guys, who, after attacking this, probably going to be Mulemir to keep this guy alive. He's going to hit face with a 6/4. So 3 is going to kill this, and either one of these are going to kill this. Okay, so then this will kill this. Or get it down to 6/1, and then he'll wipe the board with it. So Thiago making great use of Soul Burst. It's a great, unique legendary that didn't get a lot of love when it first came out, but boy, is it getting displayed now. It's quite riveting. Oh, that Soul Burst just got so much sweeter. And look, I don't normally giggle with glee, but I do. I've come to start loathing Call Dragon so much because I do think it's overpowered more and more. Didn't even realize that it upgrades every single shot. I thought it would upgrade maybe a shout in your hand. The fact that it upgrades every shot in your deck, that to me is a bit obnoxious.
Hunt is on.
And the devs got that right. Soul Burst, a card that powerful, unique, legendary.
This one offers something.
Although he could, if he has the mummy, the headless mummy, or the headless zombie, and he could bring it back. Ooh, Mana Marco. Not gonna mess with it. Okay. Maybe, okay, not going to worry about that, of course, because there's nothing to synergize it with. So, again, Thiago taking his time, bringing it back. He went on the aggressive first. Now, Rizar came on, and he goes, okay, I'm gonna hang on. Ooh, Brynjolf. Fantastic. Don't know that he survived. What is he going to pull with Laneth? Siege. Well, of course, duh. A singleton deck. What the heck was I thinking? It's going to be close here. And Rizar going to have him down at 12.
Okay, guide me.
What will be the fate of this? I mean, if I had to bet money, I'd bet it on Thiago at this point. I've seen him in this position quite a few times. We all have, really. And he has been able to come out on top. Yep, leveled up. I mean, the good news is Nahagleave is immune, so that to those actions. So barring a Leaf Lurker, which would still require either the 6/4 or a charge creature to ping him, he's going to be able to block that lane up really well. And yeah, Brynjolf down. So now Rizar is going to have 2 things. Obviously, Brynjolf is going to be the bigger deal because he's really trying to push that last little bit. And if he doesn't, I think we're going to see the Mentor's Ring. Okay, that's what he's going to use to get rid of Boromir. I mean, that's what he looks like. I swear he looks exactly like Boromir. But yeah, he needed that drain to stick. So we'll see what he gets off Siege. I think that's what's going to be played next. Doesn't work, does it? Oh, it does. Because it's a lane effect, I guess. All right, well, he still gets rid of that threat. Ball of Valor, again, completely full because of broken deck. So, I mean, he can't play Siege and Sanctuary Pet, so if his Siege does not work out, why even run Word Walls? If you run Call Dragon, why run Word Wall? Well, of course, you can make it even more broken, but goodness gracious me. Goodness gracious me. Okay, so he's not well, no, he's not going for Siege. You can't do both. I'm hoping to see some brilliance from Thiago, because this is the kind of point in the deck where I will openly admit I'm not seeing the lines because I'm not as familiar with it. Oh, nope. Good GG. Oh, maybe not. Oh. I mean, that's... okay, yeah, he's going to hold on to it. Alright, let's see what he does.
Nice try.
It burns. Oh, that... Oh, no. Oh, that sucks. He can't... Yeah, he's just drawing all the good stuff now. Man. Good game, Thiago. Good game.
This episode sponsored in small part by Legendary Remnant Discord. If you're a TESL player and you want to get involved in the community, want to mix things up, talk to players about their strategies, talk about your strategies, get advice, get help on building decks, create custom cards, see what other custom cards people are building, or just have a great fun conversation about the craziness of Skyrim and all its denizens, come join us on the Discord. We are Discording. I'm still working on that. Anyway, the main sponsor of this video is the Runemeister, brought to you by yours truly. The best card ever. I'm kidding, of course. But the Runemeister is a 6 cost in monk colors. It is a Khajiit, mighty Khajiit with a mighty horn. If the Runemeister is in play when you have over 50 health, fortify a rune for every +5 health gained. When broken, fortified runes draw a card and become normal runes. Essentially, this card was developed as a way to reward players for going over 50, or getting high health. Because right now, if you get high health right at the jump, it's almost a liability because you're not getting those card draws from rune breaks, and you're allowing your opponent, particularly if they're like an aggro, to be able to, or if they have drain, to be able to hit you in the face and not have to worry about breaking a rune to get their health back. So ideally, when you're gaining health, you want to do it after you've got a rune or two broken. That's the ideal time to start healing, or even later. There's a lot of control players that'll push it down to like that last rune, the last 2 runes. Like if you get under 10, then you'll see them start playing their drain and things because they're hoping that you're out of your silence and everything else. But this is for those decks that are trying to weaponize drain, use it to either bring forth conjured doggos or use with Ring of Namira or things like that, where you can actually do more damage with drain. So I just needed him to have a big enough body to more than likely stick. He's not really there to make trades or anything. I mean, obviously he could do some stuff, but the body wasn't as much as important other than the durability. But the point is, if he is on the board, the idea is that you can fortify a rune. So it's if you hit 50 health, once you hit 50 health, a rune gets fortified. So it would change to like a green, or change to a red color maybe. So it's pulsating red, really cool looking effect, right? And that is a rune that now must be broken. So if the opponent hits him in the face, goes down to 45, it cracks that fortified rune. It becomes a normal blue rune, but it draws him a card. And the same thing would happen. So if he's, my goodness gracious, if he's on the board and you go up to, and the opponent doesn't hit you at 50 health, and you get up to 55, well then a second rune gets fortified. So now you've got 2 red runes and 3 blues, and when your opponent hits you, gets you down to 45, your fortified rune breaks, you get a card draw, and it turns to a regular rune. So essentially, it's rewarding you for stockpiling drain. And I mean, it's a unique legendary because I don't think you want 3 of these to be able to be played, unless you're playing Empire. It's not going to be able to be brought back. And admittedly, it would be a really good card for Empire, and I don't necessarily want that. But hey, you gotta take what you can get. So yeah, it was just a thought, just a way to try to. I was talking with Denise actually, and we were both talking about the merits of trying to make drain a functional thing, a more functional thing. And I wanted something that would possibly change up the dynamic of being essentially punished for draining too much at the beginning. Because if you run a deck that has a ton of it, like I said, it's not only bad in that regard, but it's also bad because if it has drain, if it has that attribute, typically you're not getting it for the same value as a normal 3/3. Like a 3/3 with, well, no, we've got Oreo Girl 3/3 for 3, but she's also a prophecy and drain. So I don't know, maybe the value is still there for drain. You're not taking that much of a hit by having that attribute on there. So I don't know, maybe it would be overpowered. I think as a 1 cost, that really you're only going to see it once, if that. It's not all that bad, and it does require him to be on the board. It's not that once he hits the board, he creates runes or anything like that. You literally have to kind of have planned it. And you might argue that he should be a smaller-bodied, earlier card, so that, because by turn 6, you're either controlling the board very well, and you've got your health is totally fine, or you are, you're well below that limit, and the chances of you being able to make use of this is very slim. So it may be too late in the game at a 6 cost to be effective. So maybe knock that into a 5. I still think as a unique legendary, maybe that wouldn't be too much value. It wouldn't be overpowered, even at 5 cost, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, because we've got like the heist, the ultimate heist, which essentially says, I don't care how much health you drain, we're going down to that next rune. Same thing with the Titan. I can't remember her name. The Titanborn. Is it Titanborn? Or just the Titan? The big gal with the axe, where the axe comes by and swings and hits your face, knocks you down to that next rune, right off the jump if she sticks on the board. So you got cards like that pretty much say, drain doesn't matter, you can drain all you want, we're going straight for your runes. I think this is something on the other side of that. This is, okay, you know what? If you're not going to break my runes, if you're going to let me just kind of stockpile this stuff, which I think would be very hard to do. I'm not saying it would be, I think to get to 50, maybe as I'm looking at it now, maybe that should be 40. Because getting to 50 is not all that easy. Well, I mean, it can be, depends on who your opponent is. If it's an aggro deck, it's very difficult. If it's, if you're able to get Ebonheart down and she sticks, and you have any drain on the board, it's going to be very easy. Like, she really ramps that up. But I think it's small enough that it's not going to change the entire course of the game, but it does allow those health decks to have another option of doing things. And if a control deck doesn't do any damage to face and lets them drain, well, you got to worry, because, if they're at 45 health, maybe 35, depending if this should get a buff down to 40. But you know, you let it go, and now they've got more runes. Now they got more cards. Now you got more stuff you got to get through and risk more prophecies. So I don't know. It was just a thought. I don't know how good it is, how viable it is, but I don't know, thought it was okay. And this, I believe, is alternate art from a lot of the folks that bring us the existing art in TESL. I can't remember the name of them now. Crap, I should remember them. I can see that their logo, which is a word, but somehow I cannot read it. So I'm drawing a blank. But really great artists, and so I think this is a card that just had not been used. It was made, but whatever card it was meant for, it was not used. So anyway, thanks for taking a gander at this crazy creation. And now back to the game.
Alrighty, and after some missteps, we are joining Time Twist NPO top 10 player, as we see here. Number 69 has absolutely no significance to anyone, of course, because we're all adults here, and this is a ridiculous number to have any snickers about. Don't stop snickering. You stop it.
We must keep moving.
Boo. Top 70 up against a top 500 in Brabdonpo 2. Not entirely sure I pronounced that correctly, but we're seeing a movement deck. That's the card right there, Bewildering Speed. I can't remember what collection that's from, but that movement decks went from viable to redonkulous. Yes, I use that word. Redonkulous after Bewildering Speed. A 1-cost, just with all the movement shenanigans. Oh no, that's not the card I'm thinking. I'm thinking of Moving Shadows, which is move once at the beginning of the turn, or whenever you play it, and then move back again. That card is equally as devastating, but we're seeing Time Twist putting it to good use here, and yeah, just probably hoping to get another lane shift to get a Dune Smuggler out of danger. Oh, but Brabdon has some movement shenanigans of his own.
A fine battle.
Wow. Yep. That was fast. Holy cow. Nicely done, Time Twist. I've gotten hosed by that deck so many times, so... Ooh. Alrighty, so I am leaping into the fray with Andy's Covenant deck. This is a deck created by aross.npo. Has a Twitch channel. Recommend you check it out. Let's go ahead and greet our opponent. I'm a little bit rusty. I mean, I haven't actually played a versus game in God, I don't know how long. We will see.
I strike like the Moran tongue.
He strikes like the Moran tongue.
And silently.
And I guess I mean, I'm not getting punished too hard, but... so Twist was actually asking if I would play the deck if... oh, boy. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing. So, welcome back to TESL, the game seems to say. So happy to have you here. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Well, the douche is gonna do some cool stuff. You know, gonna be very timely. Our a good first effort. City Guard, where were you, dude? You weren't guarding anything, that's for sure. The douche had to come in and save your bacon, but he's not even gonna trade with Cereal right now because she got all buffed and whatnot, and what have yous. Alright, so anyway, my story, to finish it off really quick. I ended up going to Best Buy because Apple said, hey, if you've got this model and it's an i7, oh, he's going to break that word, isn't he? Well,
No hard
I don't know what he's going to use
Right.
for it, but I don't like where this is going. I mean, I definitely need City Guard, and that's all I can play. Nope, that's not going to work. It's got to be City. Because I don't want her hitting face again. And I don't really have anything for a Headless Zombie. I mean, I guess Headless Zombie bringing the douche back? I mean, he doesn't survive with her any more than the City Guard does. So yeah, I'm just going to... That's questionable, I know. And he could get, you know, there's 20 kinds of removal that he could get hit with. I'm just hoping he stops her this last push. And then I'll play Headless Zombie. I'm going to hold off on him until I have an answer for it. Oh, jeez. All right, well, that's... No, she's going to hit that. And that's going to make her at a 4-2? No, 5-2? Okay, so... Yeah, this is rough. This is a bit rough. Ooh, Belly G.
Stop right there, criminal! Stop!
See, now here's the thing. I have to contest the lane because That's a 6/6. Like, I'm going to get wrecked if I don't. He's going to get that trigger, though. And Kana will come down turn 8. And I mean, I can only play one card. It's got to be Alfie Conjurer.
Khajiit will keep you safe.
Unfortunately. Now let's get rid of the target. All right. But yeah, so anyway, it's a bring the phone in and you'll be able to get, it'll get fixed. So I bring it into Best Buy because they're a licensed dealer, what have you. I bring it in, the guy looks at it and says, we can do a diagnostic on it, but we don't carry parts for this phone anymore. It's so old. So, if he's, I think, if he's smart, he's going to trade. Which, yeah, it's just going to make that. I mean, I probably should just concede at this point. I'm going to give it a little bit more time. But, ooh. I mean, that's really my only choice, right? I mean, I can't, unless he stacks this lane, which I don't think he's going to do. Belly G into Rage isn't going to get me there, but that's 15. It could get me there in 2 turns, so let's go ahead and do this. And I can't really punt anything other than... Yeah. And you could argue that I shouldn't have done that because I want him to fill that, to have that in the lane. So I don't know what he's going to do. Depending, I might just Ankano. Well, I could do Duel on Top of the World, so...
The Conjuration Mage never stands.
Okay, that's a very ripe Rage. And that takes 3 damage out. It's either going to take him or take her. So that's going to help. But yeah, we're just going to Rage next turn. And I usually like to hit before I Rage, so that I know whether he's going to stay on the board, but I can't take that risk. I need him off the board immediately. Okay, he plays it smart. Alright, so here's the thing. Battles your opponent's most powerful creature. I mean, I do want to get this out of the way. But... Do I mean, I can Ankano. If I Ankano over there... play him over here. I mean, he loses to Breton Conjure almost certainly. This makes that trade. So Breton's done. That's still alive. She's still alive. But I have my Belly G over there. And, well, versus... I mean, it's still going to happen anyways. So the only other thing I could do is take a risk that he's not going to be able to play anything and take out one of these. Take out this. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna gamble that he's not gonna be able to get value off of that guy, but
many important things on my mind.
Yeah, I got to do this. And he gets a prophecy off of that? Nope. Okay, so now he can trade with him, and yeah, if he's got a whatchamacallit, like an Alfie Conjure or something, we're just screwed because this guy's gonna trigger. I mean, I could definitely see an argument that I should have raged, but I was just, this lane was gonna crush me next turn. So I played the board as it is. Okay, yeah, why wouldn't you have that? Sure. And there it is. There's our good game. So, all right. Good times, good times. Okay, and to wipe the horrible stench of that last game out of our collective mouths, and to celebrate a great player, we are going to end this episode with K Fluffy, now in the top 100, up against Forfeit UESP. Not entirely sure what that stands for, but if anybody knows, let me know. Twisty had offered to let me run his deck as long as I played it on ladder, which I have no problem playing on ladder when I play, but yeah, it just doesn't take much for me to get tired at this point. I'm sure it'll come back at some... it'll come back at some point. But, you know, you have a game like that, it's like, I mean, you know, I'm not thin-skinned. I'm like, I know that a bunch of other games could go well, and I probably misplayed at the end there. And you could argue and say, well, I could have... If you wanted to say that I should have waited to see if he was going to take out my Belly G, I would grant you that for sure. But I think he would have been. I think he's smart enough to know that that's not a good play. You cannot keep a belligerent giant on the board for any stretch. So I should have waited to see if he was going to misplay that. But I had a very strong suspicion he was not going to. And like I said from the beginning, I don't get a card. I can't play a card until turn 5 or turn 4. You know, I probably should have just quit at that point. But I did it for you all. I did it for you. So anyway, back to my phone. Because I'm sure you care about the story. You're probably like, oh, for crying out loud, I don't care about the phone. But I cared about the phone, and it was something I had to go through yesterday. So anyway, the phone. Take it to Best Buy. They say, we can do a diagnostic on it, but I can't fix it because we don't carry the parts anymore, and Best Buy really doesn't support this anymore. Or Apple doesn't support this anymore. It's too old. So I don't know why, but I was like, okay, I do the diagnostic. I think I was just hoping that he would maybe find that it wasn't a problem, that the diagnostic would say the towers are down or something, anything, just kind of a Hail Mary. And of course it came back and was like, well, it says here that it doesn't connect. I said, yeah, that's exactly what I told you. And your you know, it doesn't adjust to your screen brightness. I was like, oh, that's, yay. Let's just pile it on. So then I go to the counter because in Best Buy they have a Verizon / Apple, it's a whole cell phone deal. So I, sounds good, Time Twist. Sounds good. And the guy, he was nice enough, but just didn't seem he wasn't into the sale. You know, he wasn't really into it. So I told him my predicament. And the problem is, in order to get a new phone transferred over, or to get the essence of my phone transferred over, or just in order for me to have a new phone on my account, I needed to be able to confirm with Verizon. And guess how they confirm that? They send you a text message. So if your phone can't make or receive text, well, your host. So essentially he said we had to try to trigger it 3 different times. And on the 3rd time, if it didn't work, it would let me put in my PIN. Oh, look at that. We finally got to see Caldwell attack the Cadwell. I've never seen him do that. I mean, I don't play him all that often. Pretty much only in Dano's, I think it's Prophecy Archer deck, I believe is when I had it in there. But he's never attacked me before, so. And this is not, I mean, we see a Prophecy here. That's about it. But yeah, so K Fluffy, definitely 23-23. It is a close match. But there's that card. There's that Move in Shadow, 0 cost. And look what it does. It just completely changes the strength. So I think K Fluffy is, I don't know. Like, obviously, Forfeit is going all in on the aggro. And I don't think... well, okay, Belligerent Giant would change things up. Well, no. I think K Fluffy's just... yeah. He has, unfortunately, lost this one. Unless he's going to pull something that I don't see. I mean, but he's got lethal in both lanes. So is he looking for answers? I mean, even a rage wouldn't have even helped. Yeah, like I said, lethal in both lanes. So unfortunately,
go get them, Skywag.
I mean, as you see, bad players lose and good players lose. It is a lose-lose. But it just depends on whether you're okay. Oh, he's just going to script the win. Okay. Forfeit with a nice cleanup. Just a little bit faster.
Okay. So we're just going to do a second friendly match between Roxanne and Louis. Again, Louis is just trying to get back in practice because has been out of game for quite a while due to working long hours.
There's a plan. There's always a plan.
Goodness me, they're both
I slay the unworthy.
choosing to keep conscription from the outset, whereas I would be wincing.
Citizen. I slay the unworthy.
That's going to die as well. Bit of a clunky hand that both have got going on, but it's not so bad, is it, when it's a friendly and you're both in the same boat?
The Nords must take back Skyrim for Ulfric Stormcloak.
Nice premium Stormcloak battalion person there. Hive Defender always makes such a satisfying sound as well.
All right, men, on me.
Ah, so I don't think
I live awaiting your command.
with that ice storm there, I can't see Tullius being left. I think Louis will probably go down that route. It's either that or leave left or curse.
Orders.
I slay the unworthy.
Goodness, Roxanne's managed to pull every single one of those lethal rally guys, hasn't he?
Forest is my cloak.
Oh dear. Louis is going to lose that conscription.
Please excuse Khajiit.
That's probably the turning point of the game, I reckon.
The rightful ruler of old Tamriel has arrived.
I mean, there's an edit there waiting for her, isn't there, I reckon?
Orcs at the ready.
Ouch.
Should have been more.
It's going to be quite difficult for Louis to come back from, but at least they've got some draw there, haven't they?
This one is the best.
Oh, but that execute will come in handy, won't it? It always feels a bit odd to me when I see altar decks in Dominion. I've got used to it more in Empire these days.
Protect our stronghold.
Sign me up. Your coin or your life. Choose.
There's that big red deer sitting there, isn't there, if Louis does manage to populate the board. Louis must be really hoping to get a conscription.
Chimera, spirit of the sky, guide us.
You're in my sights.
Ouch. Roxanne definitely sensing blood. Could we be looking at an ice storm here? I mean, Louis could Ancano, but the thing is, that's where the automatic kill from Roxanne, so yeah. Ice Storm's definitely the more conservative play. You're on the drain creature, I imagine? Yep.
I'll clear a path.
Pretty unenviable choice there for
Your coin or your life.
Louis,
Choose.
really.
Your coin or your life. Choose.
Nicely done.
We need to. Oh, I was hoping that they would put the guard out, so not that it's really going to help a huge amount. Very timely Hive Defender there. So I think, I mean, Roxanne's got lots of options there. Faded Wraith, 5th Legion.
Stay out.
Training is over. It's time to act.
And the Stormcloak Vanguard guy's going to get a good buff from both of those as well.
I know a shortcut.
The Nords must take back Skyrim.
Yeah, he's definitely going into it.
I'll clear the path. You can't defeat me.
Okay, so just gonna give Louis a Roxanne's obviously pausing to give Louis a chance to play conscription. As this is a practice game. Assuming that Louis is gonna kill the Orc clan captain. Oh no.
Soldiers, form up.
We'll never give ground.
Oh, well, that was unexpected.
Chimera, spirit of the sky, guide us. Chimera,
Wow,
spirit
3
of the sky, guide us.
divine furthers.
So many persons, so little time.
Okay, so similar to before, Rox has just given Louis a chance to play out conscription. As it's a refresher stroke training match.
Always a plan. This one is embarrassed.
Louis could have done with the Broomer coming down first, really.
It has been an engaging hunt.
I just want a chance to prove myself.
I'll clear a path.
All right, that game finished a little quickly and not on the emotional high that I was hoping for there. The triumphant finish, and this may not either be me either, but we'll let it go if it doesn't pan out. Well, we've got render sound. We've got aggro versus aggro. This is about as close to a mirror match as you can get. You can just tell by what Lollygagging Sweet Roll has in his hand. This is designed to be probably with Belly G at the very top end of the curve.
Close ranks.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, just mirror of matches, and Orc Clan Captain fortunately going to allow a trade there if he so desires to take it. Morkel Gatekeeper could also as well, and that's what he's going to do. And he's going to get buffed up to a 3-2. Unfortunately, that does trade with the... Oh, okay. So he's forcing Render Sound to make the decisions here. So this is where, I mean, aggro matchups are definitely a place. Like, I think aggro in general, it requires thought. Not every single play, not every single deck, but in general, it does require it. No more so than in aggro matchups, mirror matches, because it really comes down to what you're willing to trade. Like, the opponent there typically would have gone for face, I'm sure, but does not want that 5th Legion trader hanging around. And that, depending on if Render Sound is constructed his deck in the same way, that could be the difference maker. Because Lollygagging is kind of mixing, similar to what I think, is it Tusk and or Toddbringer. They run aggro, I think it's Toddbringer actually, runs aggro Crusader, but has life gain and guards in it as well, so that if he's up against a mirror aggro match, he can thwart it. And he's gonna let Garnag stick, because essentially, you know, his effect hasn't triggered yet, and when it does, it's going to affect them both equally. They're both going to be stuck at 7. Drawing off some of that. That Hive Defender is really going to be giving Render Sound some problems, unless he's got piercing javelins or something. Okay, so Warcry still could be played next turn, but I think, well, yeah, that really does. It might be Warcry. Or Divine Fervor. Okay, there we go. Ooh. Yeah, Render Sound running a lot of prophecy. Let me finish my phone thing, just because it's, like I said, this should be the last game. Hopefully Lollygagging is going to finish this out. But they couldn't repair it. So I was at the thing, and they couldn't get my phone up and running. So he said, you got to go to a Verizon store, an actual Verizon store, to get it done. So I went to an actual Verizon store, which fortunately was still open. And long story short, I got there at about 6 o'clock. Manager
For Valenwood.
did a great job with. Got a great rapport with the manager. Legion Shield, that's another good one. That's another one that can really stop the aggression. But does he have? Okay, he needs 8 more. Warcry does not get it done. Could he belly G? No, he can't. Divine Fervor doesn't get it done. I think he's just... This is another situation. I think we've just seen the opponent just get the upper hand and get the rush down. Yeah, that's good game. Lollygagging Sweet Roll on, just in the matchup, mirror matchup. Render Sound just had... That crushing blow really was a crushing blow. That was a very fortunate thing because he had really no other way to engage with this lane in any meaningful way. And it took 5 points of damage off the board, and that 5 points really looks like it could be the difference here. Oh, it absolutely would have been. Because he could have played Steel Scimitar and get rid of Chewbacca, who doesn't sound anything like that. But I'll finish the story after this. If you care. If you don't, then we'll just call it. We'll call it good, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Well fought.
Yeah. Not sure why Render Sound felt the need to do that, but I did win. But again, good game, Lollygagging. So that's going to do it for this episode. Everything from here, I'm not sure how long it's going to be. Probably not terribly long, but everything from here on is going to be finishing that story. If you care about it, if not, that's fine. I just wanted to put it out there for anybody who was even somewhat invested in it. It had a decent ending. So anyway, I'm in the Verizon store, and the manager, he's a young fella. I don't know exactly how young, but he's younger than me. And we have a great conversation, have a great time. It's just me and him in the store. There's nobody else there. I get there at about 6. Store closes at 8. I leave at 10 o'clock. Our conversation started, as many do with a complete stranger, just kind of on the bit of common ground that we have, which is about phones. And I'm asking him questions about the phones and trying to figure out what phone I want to get and going back and forth on that. And then one of us, kind of expands the circle a little bit and we find out, we've got some more common ground. We start talking about that and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until we find out we pretty much are simpatico on a lot of things. And a lot of the things that, are in his mind that are concerning him are concerning me, and a lot of things, that concern me, concern him, are also things that he's thinking about. And he also, he got to open up about some personal stuff, and I won't go into those, even though you don't know who he is, and probably never will. I just don't, it's not something I want to spread around, but some deep stuff, family things and just personal issues that he was going through. And he didn't really need, he didn't need, any advice or anything. I feel like he just really needed somebody to talk to. And it was great for me too. It was very encouraging and very edifying. So we had this great conversation, and ended up. He's practicing for the Lollygagging. Is built that deck to practice for the Gauntlet this weekend. So that's what that was that we were seeing. But yeah, so we just ended up having this great conversation. So I got my phone, it got fixed, and turns out I'd been using a plan like on a 4G network, and so it was costing more because it costs Verizon more money to keep that tower open. And for some reason my bill went up like $6 like 4 months ago, and when I called to say, hey, why did my bill just go up, because I'm like, is there roaming charges or what? And she told me, no, it's just everything's going up, so our prices are going up too. And she's looking right at my account because I had to call in and had to do that confirmation thing. And instead of saying, oh hey, what, your plan is really outdated, you've got 2 gigabytes of whatever data plan, and on this old network, if you upgrade your phone and get on the 5G network, your bill's going to go down by like $15 because we don't even have that plan anymore. Our new one is cheaper than the old one. Instead, she just, it's just tough tickets. So as the guy said, it really is, it's all about the guy in the chair. It's really about who it is that's sitting across from you trying to help you, because he really did help me out a lot. So yeah, I essentially made a friend. He's a really good guy, and just really enjoyed it. And I had kind of a feeling that, I'm getting this runaround with this phone because like I'm going to meet somebody. And I'm in the back of my brain, I'm thinking, maybe it's a girl, that'd be kind of cool. But, I saw that was not, the case immediately, but, obviously a friendship is a friendship. And, he's like, you're welcome here anytime. He said, I said, well, that's my chair. Then he said, yeah, I'll put a plaque on it and everything. So anyway, it was a story about making a friend in the middle of some chaos and some nonsense and a bit of tragedy there, having to say goodbye to my iPhone of 5 years. It was quite sad, but I pulled through, and here I am today with a new phone that you can't see, but that is a tale. And there was some more to it than that, but like me feeling incredibly old because I'm carrying around a 5-year-old phone, and you got these young guys behind the counter looking at me like I'm an antique and I'm holding an antique, and they're like, this guy with an i7, what the heck is this? I'm like, hey, can you fix my i7? Can you maybe put some nails and stuff in it so it doesn't fall apart on me? Anyway, but it all turned out for the best. I'm pretty happy. It was not an expense I was anticipating, but it's probably about time, for the phone thing to happen. So it's all good. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to those of you who put your prowess on display. Always a pleasure to watch y'all work. And thanks for putting up with my horrible foray back into trying to mix things up a little bit. That was ill-fated, but whatever. I had to try it at least once. And thank you all for watching so much. Again, keep an eye out. I will be giving notifications about the transfer over to the Roll-to-One channel. Check it out if you haven't already, especially if you like D&D or tabletop gaming. That's primarily what their content is right now. They've got like 40 or 50 videos of these different campaigns. I am in them, but I'm not in them until later. So, but if you just enjoy storytelling in that fashion, check it out. Otherwise, I will see you next time. And until then, keep playing.